Rich Paul asked the Lakers and Warriors not to pursue a LeBron James trade. Kind of a weird situation where last year at the trade deadline, Joe Lacob, the owner of the Golden State Warriors, called up Jeannie Buss and said, hey, let's talk LeBron trade. And rather than say no, Jeannie Buss said, well, why don't you ask LeBron? Talk to LeBron about it. See what he thinks. And I guess you can look at that as well. Jeannie's very confident that LeBron doesn't want to leave and all that. And that's basically what ultimately came of it. It was communicated that LeBron was not interested in joining the Warriors. And that was that. That was, the end of that. But our pal Mark Stein said that the reason why was because Rich Paul asked both teams, like, no, don't try to pursue this trade, because he was worried about the effect on LeBron in terms of the backlash he would receive if LeBron moved to another team again and then played for a fourth NBA team. What do you think about that? Because I talked about this already for Lakers Nation. I'm curious what your thoughts are, because that's maybe an unusual reason to scuttle a trade.
Yeah, first of all, I get it, right? An agent's job is to protect their player and make sure that people think it's just about getting them the most money. Well, guess what? LeBron's already got the most money. So that part, well done. You did that
Mission
part of the job. Yeah. So now it's about making sure he stays in good situations, right? And I don't know how much criticism there would have been. Of course, there would have been some, right? Nobody can sign anywhere without people making jokes, but that's what people do nowadays. True, actual criticism, I don't know that there would have been a ton. I think it would have been two aging, forgive the pun, but two aging warriors teaming up together to go back into battle one more time, right? Like that's how the story, I think, would have probably played out is, hey, they're teaming up to go and let's go get this done. I mean, there would have been criticism because there always is. And let's just say LeBron went to the Warriors and the Warriors made the finals or even won a title. Well, then there would have been a lot of, he had to team up with Steph to get that title and all the things that would have been said then. But I don't know. I kind of almost want to go visit that branch timeline to find out, what happened when the trade did happen in that alternate universe. Was there a ton of criticism? But it's a little weird to me. And, in the end, probably played out how it should. I mean, at this point, it's absolutely right. Like, because I've seen now as this has come out, some of the rehashing of that whole, like Lakers ownership was actually maybe on board with it. Well, yeah, I think it was more, we're going to pay LeBron the ultimate respect and say, tell us what you want to do here, right? Yeah. Like, if you want to go and there's a deal to be made, because that's also not a, deal done, right? Because that could have been, no, we're not taking back, a bunch of junk. We're not
Andrew Wiggins, we don't want his contract back and stuff like that. Yeah.
So that would have been, let's find a right. If we can find the right deal, all right, let's figure it out. We can, presumably they would have. But yeah, and I think that's probably how 99% of situations would have played out, where, and it seems even weird to say this because no one's ever been in LeBron's situation, but there's a handful of guys, they're only getting traded if they go to their team and say, all right, I'm done. I'm ready to go somewhere else, or I want to try to win one more. And it's funny because the guy on the other side of this is Steph Curry, is in that same boat. The Warriors are never trading him unless he goes to the Warriors and says, all right, I want to go somewhere else because I want to try to win one more.
Absolutely. And LeBron is very much in the same situation. Now, maybe I don't think he even has to have it, but LeBron does have a no trade clause. So that could complicate things to a degree. Now, again, like you said, though, the Lakers would, pay LeBron the ultimate respect and say, what do you want to do? If the Lakers said, hey, we're going to trade you to the Warriors, but Steph Curry's coming back the other way. Yeah. And LeBron said, well, no, I don't want to do that, or something like that. Even if he didn't have a no trade clause, they wouldn't, do that. Obviously, that's an extreme hypothetical, but LeBron does have the ability where, let's say LeBron loves Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know, just throwing a name out there. Let's say LeBron loves Jonathan Kuminga, and Jonathan Kuminga is in the trade coming back. LeBron could say, no, I've got a no trade clause. I'm going to decline this trade then because I want to play with this guy. And we have seen that happen in trade situations in the past. Again, I don't think we're going back down this road. The Lakers very much don't want to trade LeBron. I think LeBron and Steph had a great time playing together with Team USA. But I don't think we're ultimately going to wind up in this place. It's just something worth noting because it's also not completely impossible for this to come up again because we know the
Sure.
Warriors are interested. We know they made that call this last season. That could become, what if the Lakers get off to a slow start? What if at the trade deadline they're not a playoff team at that point? Then does this conversation come up again? And then what does that look like? That's where I think it starts to get more realistic if we're living in that world. If the Lakers start out and they're playing well, if the Warriors are playing well, whatever, then I don't see a scenario where the Lakers would be, regardless, I don't think the Lakers would be enthusiastic about trading LeBron at all. And especially given the fact that Bronny is now a Laker, I have a hard time imagining LeBron saying, "Hey, son, welcome to the team. See you later. I'm out."
Right. I have to
yeah, I
imagine
don't
that
think
would
it's gonna
be
happen.
we're sliding Bronny into this deal
Into the
somehow
trade.
too, and we're gonna make it work to send them off wherever they're going. Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I don't even think there's a world, and I get where some people feel like, why do the Lakers have to give LeBron that? Like Steph's been with the Warriors for 16 years or whatever it's been. LeBron's been with the Lakers. I don't even know how many years. What is it, six?
6 now, yeah.
Years or something like that. But he's LeBron. Like that's why. Won a title for you, became the all-time leading scorer with the Lakers. They're just paying him the proper respect by saying, "Hey, are you even interested in this Warriors thing?" But again, I just think it's so important to know at the time the reporting was, then we'll start the conversation if you're even interested. It
Yeah.
wasn't, well, then it's done. We're sending
No.
out the door with that. So yeah, I think it's funny. Hey, I wanted to ask you, did you see ESPN did their team, like it's their summer forecast series where they like do some like summer predictions for things?
Mhm.
Did you see the team that they said is like they think is gonna like fall the furthest? Who got it? They called them Team Turmoil. So
Team
like team
turmoil.
that'll
I'm
like fall
assuming it's
off
the
the
Lakers
bottom.
because there's always turmoil around the
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yep.
But that's the team
Yeah.
they predicted,
They
and
they got
I think you can make that
53.
case.
They got 53 points, which I don't know how the point system went. It's not interesting enough for me to go look. But they were double the Clippers, who were 25th. I struggle out in a normal world, normal injuries. Guys miss 10, 15, 20 games. Outside of a major player for the Lakers, so LeBron or AD, missing 50, 60 games basically the season, I can't see a world where they finish behind the Clippers in the standings this year. I just can't see it. Like unless it's LeBron misses 40 and AD misses 40 and they're not the same 40. Right? Like I struggle to see where they're worse than the Clippers this year as far as where they were, right? Like
Mhm.
falling down in the standings. Like I don't know. That part did that seemed a little like, okay, I guess, sure, why not? But I don't know, a little weird to me.
Well, and Keith, this is perfectly on brand. You are known for if you're known for anything, and it's for your optimism about the Lakers. So, so, but you look at stuff like that, and I'm assuming what you're talking. They did like a vote or something like that, and they had all these
Yeah,
different
it's like
people.
it's like a bunch of their writers like got
Okay,
together and did it. Yeah.
well,
Yeah, they do it every year, and it's the same like questions that they ask every year and that kind of stuff.
it's more interesting if the pick is the Lakers,
Sure.
right? For it to
Yeah.
be team turn, there's gonna be more people that go, oh my gosh, it's the Lakers, than if it's the Clippers, right? I mean, that's just the way that it is. So I think that can be an element to this, but it's also, look, we know LeBron wants to win right now. The Lakers didn't do anything this summer. They didn't make any, notable additions to the team that aren't, rookie players that they brought in. They need to make a trade. There's tension there. There's pressure there on the team to do something. So
Sure.
I understand why you could look at this and say, you know what? What if they can't find a trade? What if it's January and they can't find a trade? Like, how mad is LeBron going to be at that point? What happens that, I mean, there could be some rough seas ahead. So I get that. Oh God, I just made a Clippers pun with that, with the rough seas thing, especially since they're leaning into the ship thing now. But anyway, I get it. I get why people could look at the Lakers and say, hey, there's dark skies ahead. We want to go that way. But I do think you're right. I think the Clippers losing Paul George is a really, really big deal. And I don't know how
Yeah.
much I trust Kawhi Leonard to stay healthy anyway. There's some good players
Yep.
on that roster, but you know what? If the Clippers are bad and the Lakers are just okay, there's going to be a lot more said about the Lakers being just okay than the Clippers being bad. And I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah, because everyone will go to, well, we thought the Clippers would fall off because of X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm with you. Yeah, I feel like by the time we hit December 15th, any Lakers not named LeBron James Jr., or Anthony Davis, you better make sure you're pretty flexible with where your next address is going to be. Like that,
True.
that's, it's probably going to start pretty quick when trade season actually opens. Is like that's when we're going to start hearing a lot of stuff.
Keith, if the Lakers had the ability in a purely hypothetical situation to land a star level player, but the opposing team said, we want Bronny in the deal, does LeBron sign off on it? What happens?
Oh man. Imagine if he didn't. Like that'd be
Either way.
Yeah.
If he didn't, if he does.
I mean, if he does, you look at it and it's like, all right, he got him the contract in the first place, right? So like at least he helped him get there, and now he's ruthless and shipping him out, right? It's like when you're playing with your kid and you're in the driveway and you're blocking every shot they take, and you're giving them a Matumbo finger wag on top of it.
You're just giving them the finger.
But yeah, man, I more imagine like if it was like, no, the deal was killed because they couldn't get Bronny, and it was like, I don't even know who we're talking about, but Star X, like,
yeah.
Oh my, I can't even imagine what would happen then. Like that would 100% seal his fate with the right. We've talked about it before, the division in Lakers fans, Lakers fans,
goodness.
LeBron fans, and fans of both. Like that would 100% seal his fate with the where Lakers fans only. Like he'd be done to them for life.
The Venn diagram of Lakers fans, LeBron fans, and both would just become like the nuclear waste symbol. You know what I'm talking about? Like that, it would just morph into that. It would be
100%.
It would be a disaster. It'd be a disaster. Man, maybe that would truly be team turmoil at that point.
Yeah.
All right.
And then imagine if then he opted out and left.
Oh God. Next year. Now you're really on brand here.
Let's go.
With your dark path.
I went down that alternate timeline pretty far.
You really did.